Hello everybody, welcome to the Wrestling Bubble, TWB. I am Richard.
And I am Anna.
And believe it or not, we're here. It's here. This is Wrestlemania week.
And in this video, we're going to be talking about WrestleMania 41 predictions. We're going to try to keep this video short, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, here we go.
Yeah, we just wanted to get our thoughts out real quick and be a part of all the hype leading into WrestleMania 41. So we're going to run down the match card. Take it away.
Alright. First match card we're going to talk about is night 1 on Saturday. The opening match will be the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar versus the New Day, Kofi and Xavier Woods for the WWE World Tag Team titles.
I think it's about time they put some respect on the New Day. And I see the New Day walking away as the new tag team champs. And they deserve it. They had that incredible heel turn on Big E and, quite frankly, the WWE Universe. They kind of, lost a little steam, getting lost with the LWO, like in those little feuds that went nowhere. And now they're finally back in title contingency. So hopefully we'll see the New Day walk out as the new champs. They need it. And if they want to be legitimate heels and to be taken serious, that's my thoughts on that match.
I agree. I have to go with the New Day because, same like what you said, they had that incredible heel turn on Big E. Granted, they got booed, but it helped with the story. They did water them down a little bit, putting them in the LWO. And then it's like, it will also help Eric and Ivar because then, let's say they win the title, they can actually chase it in a way and give them a better storyline since they debuted, because they really haven't had no storyline, even when they fought against the Judgment Day, let's be honest. So, and the New Day will bring more character into the tag team division. They got disrespect, but that locker room don't want them anymore. So it's like, it's just the New Day versus everybody. So then winning the title actually will be good, because then they'd be like, now the division has no choice but to respect us, because we're your tag team champions.
Alright, so the next match, we have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
Thank you!
No, it's gracias.
I will have to go with gracias! Because I believe Chad Gable deserves the win. He has put in a lot of character work by developing this Grande Americano that everybody loves, helping bring in the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile into the mix, actually make his group look strong. But once they put it all together, I could see them all getting a belt down the road, but right now it's about Chad Gable. And I feel like once he's done with this El Grande and slowly get the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile where they need to be, I could see him being an Intercontinental champion this time.
Yeah, I could see that. This could be the beginning of his major push, upper mid card, and possibly, if he starts cooking like he did last year in 2024. So for this match, there's two things about this. There's a petition for a mask versus mask match.
Okay.
Between these two at WrestleMania.
So, yeah.
Now, let's say if Triple H the WWE acknowledges it and they consider it, if they go through with the mask versus mask, 100% Rey Mysterio wins.
Yeah, I can see Rey.
And then the unmasking, Chad Gable has his big moment at WrestleMania in that way. But realistically, I see Chad Gable either cheating to win, something like that. Maybe the Creed brothers, Ivy Nile get involved, something like that. This will be the thing that really sparks Chad Gable's push. Possibly, like you mentioned, for an Intercontinental belt. Who could you see challenging for a Chad Gable Intercontinental run?
AJ Styles and Chad would be good. But I also believe this match is going to be the match of the night, too.
I could see Sami Zayn being one of his first contenders. And Chad finally proving that he could beat Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I can see that.
Something like that, since he ruined his chances of having a WrestleMania moment to beat Gunther. Alright, so yeah, let's just go ahead and move past that. The the next match, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. And this is a match that I'm definitely looking forward to. Great storyline, character work. They had everybody guessing the whole time, like, who could it be? It's a whodunit story, and I've been hooked ever since it started.
I'm going Naomi also, because Jade is still not a believable babyface to me. And if Naomi wins, when Naomi wins, she needs to cheat to win, because that will help elevate Jade more, so people can start booing Naomi more and start cheering for Jade more. Because right now I feel like Naomi's carrying the storyline, and this match is to help elevate Jade wrestling, in-ring wrestling. Because I mean, yes, Naomi messed up sometimes, but she will help control the match more for Jade, like how to sell more and stuff like that. So I feel like this is I feel like Naomi should win, just the fact that she did this whole character work, get the push that she deserves, whatever. Knock out Jade. I'm pretty sure they're going to do a rematch in Backlash. That's when Jade probably win, then probably Naomi. This is probably going to be a 3. I believe it's going to be a 3 run. Somehow I feel like Bianca's going to be part of it.
Okay. Alright, so Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I have 2 different ways of looking at it. What should happen versus what will probably happen.
Mm-hmm.
What I think should happen is Naomi should win, and she should cheat to win, and she should have help, possibly from Bianca. She's been kind of hinting at, being herself, and she's the strongest, the quickest, the toughest, She kind of reminded us again recently, and she's also been wearing all black like Naomi.
Yeah.
I would proceed with caution with this one. And what's probably going to happen is Jade will win. Naomi will try to fight dirty, and, if she doesn't end up getting any help, they'll run it like Naomi keeps doing underhanded tactics behind the ref's back, or even in front of the ref. She's a different character, so she doesn't care. She's gonna get Jade back like Jade came back and embarrassed her after Elimination Chamber and all that, like during Elimination Chamber. So I think Naomi's coming for a fight, but Jade is gonna take the dub.
So you going with Jade?
I just feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Alright. I'm sticking with Naomi. Next match we have LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States title.
Who you got?
This is a tough one. I've been torn between LA Knight, because I feel like somehow Solo and Tama Tonga is going to screw Jacob Fatu. I can see that happen. But then again, the crowd is also loving Jacob Fatu. So it's like, you put the title on him, because I know people want to talk about Solo versus him. You put the title on him, Solo can look at it as a jealousy thing, almost like fan. But at the same time, I don't want to see Solo and Jacob Fatu fight each other. For what? Like, are we tired of this whole family versus family thing? I feel like we should switch it up. I want to go with Jacob Fatu for this one, so they can revamp the new Bloodline group. Because right now they've been making them a little weak, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like they're almost non-existent at this point. Piggyback on that, I think Jacob Fatu needs to win, especially at WrestleMania, this being his first Mania at solo individual. LA Knight, I think, should be elevated. He should start looking more at the main event scene. He should mix it up with the likes of Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. He should really start contending for the world championships at this point. always gets a pop. He's cuts a good promo. He's decent enough in the ring to have a good match with pretty much anybody. Yeah, I think Jacob goes over, but ultimately LA Knight star rises even higher.
The next match, this is going to be a battle match in my opinion. Gunther versus Jey Uso for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, the number one contender that nobody ever saw coming.
Right.
Out of all the top names, the top superstars in the Royal Rumble, it wasn't Roman, it wasn't John Cena, it wasn't Drew McIntyre, it wasn't CM Punk, it wasn't Seth Rollins. It was the Yeet Man, Jey Uso, that won the Royal Rumble so that he could, I would say, main event at WrestleMania, but he still can go for gold at WrestleMania when he challenges Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I see Jey Uso winning, beating Gunther at WrestleMania 41, possibly with some help from Jimmy. Notice we haven't seen Jimmy since he got beat down by Gunther. I see Jey Uso winning. I don't think they want to make Jey Uso a transitional champ.
I feel like they would.
He did the same thing with the Intercontinental belt.
He had it for almost like 90 days.
Yeah.
Just so he can give it back to Braun.
But to me, in my opinion, he is the type that could get away with being a transitional champ. He wins at WrestleMania 41, so he can have that culminating moment. He's put in all the work to get Yeet over and to have the big entrances and stuff like that. I think he gets his WrestleMania moment, carries the title until Backlash, where Gunther wins his World Heavyweight Championship back, and then we take it from there in whatever direction it needs to go for Jey Uso. Possibly challenging again in a losing effort that elevates Jey a little bit higher. And then, me fantasy booking, we get Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther. Alright, back to reality.
I'm going with Jey Uso.
Jey Uso over Gunther. Alright, both of us picked that one. So, next up we have Tiffany Stratton, your WWE Women's Champion, versus Charlotte Flair. Who do you have?
Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton over Charlotte Flair.
It's time for a chance. I like Charlotte Flair. I'm a Charlotte Flair fan, but I'm also a Tiffany Stratton fan. And honestly, this is where WWE needs to not be so predictable and giving Charlotte the belt. I remember, I forgot which WrestleMania it was, but when it was Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, I thought for sure they were going to give it to Charlotte Flair. You know how shocked some people were when they gave it to Becky? Yeah. So, I feel like it should be Tiffany Stratton so she can get a better storyline for the title. I feel like this Charlotte Flair one and Tiffany Stratton was just rushed, in my opinion. So, it wasn't really long enough. And let's say down the road, if the storyline gets better, they might do a rematch of Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, possibly at Backlash. So, I'm going Tiffany Stratton, just so she can have a longer title run.
Okay.
Charlotte needs to prove that she don't need a belt to get over.
I'm in the camp of Tiffany Stratton retaining and Charlotte bringing her to a good match. Not a classic, but a good match. A good showing for Tiffany Stratton. So that she could be taken a little bit more serious. But I don't think it ends at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Charlotte is, Charlotte is called the greatest for a reason. She wants that gold. She wants to set a record that nobody can break.
Yep.
So we run it back at Backlash. So I got Tiffany Stratton over Charlotte Flair. You know, this to me this was a nothing match. You know, they just basically let Charlotte win the Royal Rumble, and we got business as usual. She then proceeds week after week to, you know, make Tiffany Stratton look like a bimbo. And then we get the promos where Charlotte completely roasts her, won't let Tiffany Stratton talk. When Tiffany does talk, Charlotte completely, you know, digs in deeper. And we follow that up with the controversy with the promo of Tiffany talking about Charlotte being second fiddle to Ric Flair, her dad, and wanting to play volleyball and drink in the basement. I mean, like, she's going personal with it. And then Charlotte in turn talks about how she's the queen nepo baby, and and also Ludwig Kaiser being in her DMs. Yeah.
And Tiffany saying, what are you, 0-3 or something like that?
Right, in relationships and marriages or whatever.
So, yeah, that heated up really quick.
Yeah. But now I actually care.
Right.
You know, I guess it took all of that, you know, for them to make it feel a little realer than it was before. Before it completely felt thrown together. But now it feels like there's a little something on the line besides the championship, you know. All right, so on to the next match. In the main event of night 1, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman versus Seth Rollins. Triple threat match. Who do you have?
Roman Reigns.
Why?
This is a match for him to prove that he didn't need Paul Heyman. In a good way, to show, like, remember, Paul Heyman is his wise man. So he could take all that wisdom that Paul Heyman gave him and put into the match. You know, make sure he stay calm, stay focused on the prize and everything else. Seth Rollins can take a loss, because this will, honestly, I'm seeing Seth about to turn a little heelish, and so he could take a loss. And then with CM Punk, Roman don't really need to continue fighting CM Punk, in my opinion, because it's really who CM Punk and Seth really have issues since CM Punk got there. The only reason Roman is in this match really because CM Punk is using, in my opinion, Paul Heyman to be in his corner to distract Roman.
So, who do you have? Final answer.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. Okay, I have Seth Rollins because he needs this win more than anybody.
You feel like he's been an afterthought?
Yes. Yeah. And that's why I think the last promos that they've had, Seth has been the one that's kind of been on top. Okay, so they're trying to make him look strong because he's been a third wheel. Not even a third wheel, he's been the fourth wheel. It's been CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
And I think there's a swerve. I mean, this is a Roman Reigns match. This is a Paul Heyman story. So I think Paul Heyman ends up siding with Seth Rollins. Or the ultimate swerve.
He screws CM Punk.
Or the ultimate swerve. One of these two, CM Punk or Seth Rollins, joins The Rock. But I'm going with Seth Rollins for night 1 in the main event.
All right, you got Seth. I got Roman.
Okay, night 2. We're going to try and blaze through night 2 a little bit faster.
Night 2, we have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul as the opening. I'm going Logan Paul.
I got Logan Paul. AJ Styles up there in age. There's no point in him winning. He's already, solidified his name, and he's proven all that he can do. He's got nothing left to prove, really. So we got the youngster Logan Paul winning against AJ Styles in WrestleMania 41. Next match is Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. Who do you have?
Drew. It's time for him to start his revenge tour.
I agree. Drew McIntyre for the win. Damian Priest, he won last year at WrestleMania. I don't see him winning 2 times in a row. Plus, he's not really, he doesn't really have a lot of heat. People just started caring about this match maybe two weeks ago.
Exactly.
So,
because he will need Drew to win in the cheating kind of dirty way. Yes, it's a street fight, but juking eyes or whatever, just so Damian Priest can get some more from the fans, because right now the fans is more locked in on Drew than Damian.
Yeah, I think this match will help. This will help Damian Priest become more of a babyface, and in turn help Drew McIntyre become more of a heel, and also elevate him to be taken a little bit more serious in the main event scene. I think they'll have a one and done. I don't see them running this back at Backlash, but then again, the booking.
I see them running in Backlash.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because they fought twice last year, and I can see them running in Backlash. Now, if Damian win, they might do a third one, but I could see Drew. I feel like this will be the year when Drew will actually get everything he deserves in a good way.
Yeah.
Title and everything once it's done with the Cody and John Cena undisputed WWE title.
Got a lot of praying to do. But yeah, I think we get Savage Drew McIntyre this year.
Yep.
All right, so we both got Drew McIntyre for that match. All right, so next we have Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. I'll just go ahead and let you know, Liv and Raquel are keeping those titles. They ain't going nowhere, and they're definitely not losing to a makeshift thrown together 2-week tag team of Bayley and Lyra Valkyria.
And Bayley's turning heel.
I agree. Bayley is turning heel, and she is turning on Lyra Valkyria when Lyra needs her the most.
Yep. So, moving on from that match. Next match we have Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship.
Hold up, put some respect on Braun Breaker. Your Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker.
I'm going Dominic Mysterio is going to take it from Braun Breaker. And I feel like it's going to be somewhat of a screw job. He might end up pinning Finn Balor for it.
2 things about this. I got Braun Breaker winning, and then finally getting a real push.
Yeah. Okay.
And having multiple opponents this year challenge for the Intercontinental Championship, and him winning all of them. I could see Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio having a match at Backlash, because these two couldn't pull it together in this match, and this officially starts their feud, and then they finally fight at Backlash. And I think we get Penta versus Braun Breaker at Backlash. I see Finn Balor taking the pin in this match to the point where he's completely irate. He loses it. He quits the Judgment Day, and possibly low blows Dominic or something like that. And he vows to, put Dominic down for good or something come Backlash,
Right.
Something in that manner. And yeah, I feel like Braun Breaker's gonna retain. And he's gonna pin either Finn or Dominic, and we get that scenario that I described.
I feel like this is also going to be the match of the night, and I'm still sticking with Dominic, and he's going to end up pinning Finn Balor by a screw job.
Okay, all right. So next up, we got the WWE Women's World Champion, Io Sky, versus Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Who do you have?
Rhea Ripley. Bianca already has enough going on with Jade and Naomi. That storyline's not finished. And Io, she did her job. This is Rhea's chance to redeem herself, because she never beat Io before. Neither has Bianca.
You know what else never happened before? Bianca has never lost at WrestleMania.
True. That's
and
why.
And you really think she's going to start losing in a triple threat match?
See, she'll be protected though, because Rhea just has to pin Io.
That's why Io is gonna pin Rhea. Io has pinned Rhea before. Rhea's never beat Io.
Neither has Bianca.
Correct, but Bianca has also never lost at WrestleMania.
And
so
what people forgot, Bianca also never beat Rhea before.
Doesn't matter. That's why Io's gonna pin Rhea. I'm telling you, that's gonna happen. It's gonna be Bianca getting her lick back at WrestleMania, causing Rhea to lose, starting their feud. They're gonna have like a year-long feud. They off and on, but they'll cross paths multiple times. We'll get the real match at WrestleMania 42, and I mean that's the WrestleMania match. That's the future of the women's division. So this is just a tease. This is a sample.
I'm still going Rhea Ripley.
I don't see it.
I
think that would be like three times she's won the title in what 2 years or 3 years or something like that. Yeah, I don't see it happening. What, the last title reign was like 400 days or something?
That's before her injury.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I don't see it happening. Nope. This is character and story time for Rhea. And a Bianca Rhea feud is what everybody wants. Yeah, I got Io retaining.
All right. Moving on to the main event, we got Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE champion, versus John Cena for the undisputed WWE title.
His time is up. John Cena's time is now. He didn't turn heel for nothing. John Cena is walking out your new undisputed WWE champion. Goodbye, Cody.
You think it would be a screw job?
1,000%.
Okay.
It won't be clean. People will get involved, whether it's distract the referee, toss in a weapon, a rock bottom, whatever you want. Like, this is WrestleMania. John Cena wins by any means necessary.
Why? Some part of me feel like The Rock might make an appear too. I know people say he might not show up, but I have a feeling he might show up.
The Rock is definitely going to be at WrestleMania.
And I feel like John Cena might retire with the belt. It's like, why turn heel for nothing? Let's say if he does lose at WrestleMania, then they're going to run it back in Backlash.
Maybe. That depends on how bad they hurt Cody.
Yeah.
Because you could easily have that situation to where they don't run it back at Backlash. So it all depends on also if The Rock recruited another person. That's a perfect way to introduce him.
Yeah. Well, we're about to find out in a few days.
Well, that has been our WrestleMania 41 predictions for night 1 and night 2. This has been our first video. Give us a subscribe, hit the like button, stay tuned. We're gonna have more videos coming, and we plan on doing reactions or reviews to Raw, SmackDown, NXT, possibly AEW. Stick with us. This has been the Wrestling Bubble with Richard and Anastasia. Peace.
And also, leave your comments what you think your wrestling prediction is also.